This car right here is pretty neat. This number 44. A lot of people probably don't know about this car. This was a car that Dad drove at Metrolina Motor Speedway. It was a Grand National race, not sanctioned by NASCAR, but you had Cale Yarborough, Richard Childress, James Hilton, all the Cup drivers came out and raced, and Dad was allowed to run this particular car owned by a gentleman who was racing in the Cup Series back then, and he competed that day and ended up racing with some of the Cup regulars. That's kind of his very first unofficial Cup start at Metrolina when it was paved and promoted by Ned Jarrett. So this is Dad's Cup case. Come on over here. This case right here is Dad's Xfinity Busch Sportsman case. And this one's my favorite. These are all the cars that he raced in the 70s. These are cars he owned and raced out of Ralph Earnhardt's shop right next to Mamaw's house in Kannapolis. And each one, obviously, I mean, probably every race he went to the racetrack with a unique sponsor, just a local business or company that gave him a couple bucks. And this is Dale Earnhardt when he was trying to make it. This is a pretty cool piece right here, a Ford Falcon, I believe, that Dad ran on the dirt tracks in the semi-modified series at Metrolina when Ralph was still alive. They both would go on at certain weekends during 1971-72, and both would win the feature events in the super modified and the sportsman class. So those must have been some pretty cool times. I have a small little collection of Ralph Earnhardt cars. This is actually a car owned by Richard or Lee Petty, the 188 and the 88. Ralph Earnhardt ran a handful or a dozen races for the Pettys, and this is the car. This is what the car looked like, and Richard has actually signed the windshield of those. That's a model car of Dad or Ralph Earnhardt that he raced in the Cup Series. Actually, that Ralph Earnhardt made a few. This case right here is a bit of an oddball case, kind of a catch-all for a little bit of everything, and I'm gonna get pretty descriptive right here. Here's a couple of models. This is Phil Parsons. He flipped this car at Talladega in an incredible crash. For me, this was very impressionable in my childhood. But I love that paint scheme, that sort of flame, that green flame, and that Skull Bandit paint scheme. This is a car that they made for me for Isla when she was born, welcoming her into the world, it says. It's pretty funny. Nicole doesn't have a die cast, so we got to be quiet about that. And then just, the Dale Jr. download car down here. And when Dirty Mo Media sponsored a Cup car, this was a cool die cast we had to get. And in this row, here is a favorite paint scheme. We all got our favorite all-time paint schemes. Well, here's one I bet you didn't think I liked, or you don't probably see that often, but this is the Chameleon-sponsored number 90 car of Dick Brooks. I mean, I don't know what it is. I love this car. The blue to white fade, and then you had the number, the orange to yellow fade. I just can't get enough of all those colors mixing together. I thought that was one of the coolest race cars on the racetrack and easy to find. So I talked about my appreciation for the Gray Ghost, and I've actually ran some throwback Gray Ghost paint schemes in my time. But the 28 car over the years with Waddell Wilson and Robert Yates, it was just always the car to beat all the way through to when Davey Allison would drive it and beyond, really. But I have an affinity for it. I have an appreciation for it. I have a small collection honoring its history here. And even when Benny Parsons drove it, a couple of Pontiac Grand Dams right here. But I thought the 28 car was just something special and always fast. So I was a big Cale Yarborough fan too, so that helps. I need more cases to put more cars in. Got my Dale Jr. call right here. A lot of people say, you ain't got one of these. I do.